Hello, welcome back to Primo Calcio. We missed last week. We were both away, but we are back with some Mercato updates. I'm Michael here with Anthony. How's it going?
Well, we had a nice little trip there, and now I have to get back into calcio mode, and it's pretty sad.
Yeah, I mean, let's just start away with why you feel it's sad. It's because Juve has made so many amazing moves. They have kept Conceição, which would be paid about 30 mil over 4 years, and you would think that would stop them from going after Sancho, but it doesn't. So, what do you think about them keeping Conceição? What do you think about them still going after Sancho?
Truly don't care. I'm glad I guess I'd rather have them keep Conceição than Sancho,
Yeah.
but I don't know why we have so many wingers for a coach who doesn't play wingers. It doesn't make any sense to me. So it's getting gets more and more difficult each day to try to support this quote unquote project. But I think really what Comoli has to do is clean up the mess that that idiot Giuntoli made last season. I mean, he absolutely crushed our future. He saddled us with long-term debt, and so I want to see him move some of these guys, and it looks like that's his top priority. So I don't know. We like Sancho to me is exactly is a move we would have made last year too. The position's covered. We don't need him. We're for some reason getting rid of Bangula and then signing Sancho. So it seems like a lot of sideways moves, like sell a guy for plus Valenza and then spend double that money on somebody else for the same position.
Yeah, see that's
It's
exactly
absolutely
where I'm
crazy.
at with it. Exactly where I'm at. Like,
Yeah.
why would you? So, all right, if you need to sell Mangula because he's pure capital gains, which I always disagree with because I feel like that's just like destroying culture when you sell your youth products, which we've
Yep.
already covered it and just ad nauseum at Juve for the past year or so,
Well, it
especially
makes
getting
you
rid of him.
money, and
It,
that's what matters to Juventus. It doesn't matter winning, building a team, getting better for the future. What matters is making money. So what happens is they get that 10 million in the bank, and then they can amortize Sancho's 20 million over 5 years.
but
So it
it
only
doesn't
costs
make you money
four.
because of that. They can
No,
amortize it. It's little gains. But why do you even need to sign Sancho?
well,
Is
and
the
his
thing.
salary's higher, so I really don't understand it. I mean, I can do math, and I guess I don't know what these. I'm sure these guys are better at math than I am, and they have their primary objective. So I definitely trust. It doesn't make any sense for a team that's trying to build and be successful. So I can only trust that John Elkin at least knows how to make money, which is definitely true. He's better than it than I am, without
Definitely
a
knows
doubt.
how to
So
make money.
that's what he's doing, and I'm sure it makes perfect sense on the books. And that's the kind of team we are now. So I'm just accepting it.
I don't know,
I
man.
I, I
It's
do have my
this
teams
makes
now.
this makes no sense. So Sancho right now is rumored to go for roughly 25 mil ish on the transfer. They're probably going to get that maximum for Mbangula, and then if you do
No,
amort
they're selling him for 10.
to 10, really? Wow.
Yeah, so it's so Sancho costs 5 million on the
Oh my
books. We get
god.
10 from Bangula, so we make a net profit of 10 or 5. But we have to pay for Sancho's salary, which I'm sure is going to be more
Wait,
than.
that's terrible. I
Yeah,
mean, like
I don't know
he's
what to do.
a talent. Most talented kids this day who are young with ton of potential are leaving for way more than that. Why does
Yeah,
Serie A sell so low besides Atalanta? Is Atalanta the only club that can sell?
yeah,
That's insane.
yeah, absolutely. Well,
So
we
roughly
sell them
10?
before we see Atalanta develops their talents and then sells them. As soon as anyone steps foot on the field, we just sell them off because they're plus Valenza.
Hey, he scored a goal. Sell him. Sell him. He's got
Yeah,
value
so they
now.
actually develop them and sell them.
Oh
That's
my
why they make
god.
money. Yeah, we just don't care. It's like I get rid of them
Yeah,
there,
estimated market value 14 mil. So it's going to be that or
and the
less,
fans make
agreeing to 10
apologies
mil
for it.
base. Yeah, so 10 mil
Yeah,
plus bonuses. So yeah, you're not getting any more than 15 max. So they're going
no,
to lose money off this by signing Sancho. Sancho's salary is way higher. What
maybe.
what do you need him for? And as I said, you don't really play wingers. Why do you
I'm sure
need
they're
him?
not going to lose money. There's a way. There's a reason they're doing it.
I mean,
We
you're
we
not
just
going to lose
don't
money,
understand.
but look, last year they got smoked with all these transfers. I mean, I don't know, man.
Oh, they got absolutely
Clubs
smoked. Yeah,
are these people are not that smart.
no,
Like,
no.
man,
It's really not that difficult of a job, but there's glad to know there's some people out there that are doing it. So no,
well,
I don't know. I don't know. I think that like the story with Juve is it's what I always say. The good news is no one else is that good. So
Yeah, yeah, you're never too far off just because
Yeah,
of the state of football in general, right? So you're never too far off. Like one transfer season, you could be pretty dang close again. Two, definitely back
yeah,
in the mix. So I mean, it's fine. Like this is not going to change it, but this doesn't
no,
accomplish any of the goals that we wanted. It doesn't bring Juve a lot more quality. It also doesn't bring Juve that much closer to looking like Juve anymore. So yeah, it doesn't accomplish anything we wanted. So
yeah.
unfortunately,
This
I'm
isn't a
I'm
hype
sure the
cast.
passion will not be there this season for a lot of the Juventini, especially you,
Yeah,
given how we feel about the game.
yeah. This isn't a hype cast. That's for sure.
No,
I'm not gonna support something I'm not fond of. So
no,
that's that for
that
Juve.
is
But
Juve. Well, let's talk
let's
about one
talk
more
about a
thing.
good team.
No, no,
What?
no. That's not. Let's
Oh
let's
God.
go. Let's kind of have a nice smooth transition. The last thing we're gonna talk about Juve is how would they make money by selling their boy Dusan Vlahovic, who's linked still with Milan. I still think it could
Oh,
be
please
a
take
good
him.
choice if you're going to take him on a cheap fee and a really hard, really reduced salary. However, if he doesn't reduce his salary, I wouldn't touch the guy. Like
That's the
he's gonna have
problem
to
with him.
come down to below Leao's salary because he's not as good as Leao, never has been as good as Leao. So you can't set the precedence that he's your highest paid earner on Milan. If you do, the dressing room is going to go wild. You can't do that. So if he's willing to take a
Well,
massive cut, he can come. If he's not, then he can't come. I don't care what the
well, the
cost
problem with
is.
him is that he's not going to take a reduced salary.
Right.
He's a douche.
Yeah, he's just gonna ride
He's
it
going
out
to
at
sit
Juve
there.
and go on a
Yep,
free somewhere for sure.
100%. That's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah,
So
and then he's gonna
I
like
I
touch the
don't think
badge just to kind of like make sure the fans don't hate him for his last year. Just watch.
that's what they all do.
Yeah.
Day one, they show up to the team. They do scream face and point at the badge, and then the first match, they go out. They go and kiss it right in front of the
Yes,
fans,
and they put a
and all
heart.
the fans go, "Oh,
Do the heart.
yeah, yeah." Then there'll be a Photoshop
Yeah.
picture of him as a child with the jersey on.
Yes, exactly. I've
Yeah,
always been a
yeah,
fan, and then the next team signs him. I've always been a fan.
yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the stains of the far past. I mean, he's got to get out of there. I just hope in the end, I don't really care who Kamoli signs. I actually don't want him to sign too many people. I just want him to get rid of some of the trash that was brought in last
Yeah,
year
clean it
because
up so you can
it's
start fresh.
yeah. Yeah, and that's tough to do because like who the hell wants these guys? They had stinkers of a season. They were signed for top dollar and they're on
Mm-hmm.
pretty decent salaries. So and we need to sell them at a certain rate, or we're not going to make any money because we have all this amortized debt that Juntoli created that everyone was celebrating last year. So it's a tough spot for Comley to be in. I don't know if I'm a fan of him yet. I can't tell,
That's too
but
early to say.
yeah, it is. If he sells Savona, I'll and Moretti, I'll be pissed
Yep.
because I know those two are getting shopped around right now.
Well, you know what? If they can make cash off him, they will. So I mean,
Oh,
they've
absolutely. Yeah,
they've already sold all their actual promising youth, but so it
yeah,
wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, so as far as this link going into Milan, I don't think that Milan should sign him unless he goes way down on his salary. He's still got a good amount of talent. He has not been in the right team. He barely gets service at Juve. He should get a lot more service if you have Modric there. If you have Pulisic, Leao, like you should get more service. Salamakers too, so he should do a little
yeah.
better.
That's a good squad for
Yep.
him. If he can, just touch the ball in the box, that'd be great because he doesn't have very good ball control skills. I would say
No,
if this was FIFA, I would give him a ball control rating of a 2.
I think Milan really missed their opportunity, and I knew they would because there's been this rumor that like they've set aside roughly 40 mil or so for a striker. I don't know why because they just went out and blew 35 million on Jimenez. So it's like if you're gonna do that, like that should be your guy, and then you should have Camarda backing him up, and then maybe keep Jovic so you have some type of a striker course. Fine. But they didn't do
Yeah,
that. They
no,
let go of Jovic. They loaned out Camarda. They literally just have Jimenez now sitting there. So not and the rumors that they want to sign some top striker. They've been linked with Boniface. They were linked with Lucca until he went away, which would have been my second top choice for Milan. Vlahovic, but I thought they actually missed the bet on not going for Keane. Keane had a
yeah,
52 million release clause, and yes, they were offered Moise Keane from Juve last year for 18 mil, and that was deemed too expensive. So great job, Milan. But he had a release clause that has now passed. It's done because only present for 2 weeks. And if you're just gonna spend 40, why not spend 52 on some guy who literally fits the bill perfectly? He's still young. He's Italian. If you wanted to actually Italianize, like they said they would, he can do things on his own, which Milan does not have a striker like that. If you go and get Vlahovic, You've got Vlahovic and Jimenez who both require service. Moise Kean does not require that much service. He's one of the few strikers who actually can do stuff on his own and score a goal on his own, which is rare. And he's athletic, he's strong, he can play in multiple formations. I would have chosen him for 52.
Yeah, but you're thinking in terms of trying to build a winning team. You're not thinking in terms of just making cash, and he's too expensive.
Of course.
No,
Yeah. No,
so
I
your
know. I
argument
know. It's
for,
so hard, man. It's hard for me to break
this is a
this.
problem with our teams now. They're just not at the level they used to be. They're tier 2 clubs now, and and the problem is there's a ton of fans that celebrate that. You got people on X that are, and a lot of them too. That's why I don't care about X, but I'm saying yet this is part of the fan base that are absolutely celebrating the the financial prowess of this market and the market before as some sort of sick copium. That's the problem. Is that the fan bases are so cultified that they'll support anything they do, no matter what. And they may lose a few fans, but they'll keep those guys. And those are the guys they want, because no matter what, they can take a dump on the logo and sell it to people, and they'll still buy
That's
it.
right. We're still buying, man.
So,
Milan still made money.
Yeah.
So Furlani, as the money man, is still doing his job.
Well, you
Yeah.
said it plenty of times. Just stop buying the stuff. Stop buying the tickets. Stop buying the jerseys. If you actually want to have a team that's any damn good, it's going to take that. And just unfortunately, it's too. People have their identities too wrapped around it. It's just too cultified for that to ever really happen.
Yeah. It's like a thing. Like, hey, on Sundays I do this. On Saturdays I do this. It's like, and because it's a thing, people won't stop doing it. They made it their identity, and that's exactly what
fan.
they bank on.
Yeah, I'm a good fan. Okay, good for you.
And you get a treat now. Here's your treat.
Yeah.
You get a jersey. There you go. You get a new jersey.
Yeah.
With flames on it.
You get Chowchuna.
So,
it's Estopian.
yeah, let's talk about that. So Milan has signed, or has basically signed, Pervis Estupiñán from Brighton. This is the left back. Yeah, exactly. He's from Brighton. All I actually know about him, because I don't watch Brighton, is that from what I've seen, he has a good left foot. He can put in a really good cross. He's not excessively fast. He's not very slow. He's not amazing defensively. He's not amazing in attack. In my opinion, he's a very average player. People say he's good. Okay, fine. We'll see. I think he's average from what I've seen. Isn't a lot. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
And the fee is the classic Redbird, somewhere around 20 million. They love it. That's their sign. That's their number, because you can't lose too hard on it, and you could gain a lot from it. That's exactly where they go. So they sold Teo Hernandez, who, even though he was, a D-bag last season with his attitude, is still actually a world-class talent and can change a game in 5 minutes. They sold that guy, and they bought a guy the same age. He's like 3 to 4 months younger than Teo Hernandez for 20 mil, and put him out there, and he's nowhere near as good. Great job. Great job. I'm happy with that. And by happy, I mean I'm super sarcastic.
You should be happy, because you're a great fan, and I'm proud of you, and your mom is too.
I'm not happy with the signing at all. One bit. I thought that Milan missed a massive opportunity to actually do something special this season. If you're going to sell Teo Hernandez, go and play a 3-man back line. Play with wing backs. Go and get the dude from Lazio. Press him hard and pay the 40 mil that they want for him. Tavares, he plays the same way as Hernandez. You're not going to miss much doing that. And there you go. But no,
an actually good coach though. So
yeah, we have a good coach, and that's Milan might do okay this year because we have a good coach. But this signing, man, reminds me of Banter era Milan. This totally reminds me of Banter era Milan. We were signing guys like Irby Emanuelson or like Tai Taiwo and Kevin Constant. I mean, he's not going to be probably as bad as Constant. He was terrible, but like, this is not a great player. Maybe he'll surprise me.
You never know.
Maybe he'll surprise me.
Emerson Royale.
Yeah. He's rumored away, which is at least good. And then I think we're linked with Singo for that side. We're linked with Pubil. At this point, I would much rather have Pubil, because I don't like any of our links. Besides, Pubil's at least a decent player. Yeah, Milan, I'm not loving the links now. We're priced out of Leone because we didn't want to buy him for 15 back a while ago. Now he's worth 40 because there's a bidding war for him, so we won't pay that. So we can call it a day on getting any Italian center back. That's done. So we're going to be left with exactly what I said, Ricci, and maybe one more. we won't go for Chiesa. He's linked with Atalanta. So Milan's Italianization project ends with Ricci.
Yes,
That's it,
they got
guys.
him. They did it.
He did it. Got
Yes,
Ricci.
Ital Juve, but the Ital Juve product has signed 0 Italians. So
We're one up. We're one up on you guys there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've
You got
signed
1, we
one.
got 0.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
so
actually going to sell some more of them too. It looks like Moretti and Savona are gone as well. So this
amazing.
is good stuff. Yeah.
Milan did sell Pobega for 8 mil. He's going back to Bologna, looks like. Um, but I will talk about to round it with Milan as a couple of their failed signings because they were looking pretty promising. Like, all right, they got Allegri right away, they got Tari right away. They're going to give them some time to work, and they had some very finite targets. They wanted Xhaka, they wanted Yashari, they wanted Ricci. Boom, there you go. Those are your targets, and they got Ricci for a pretty good deal. Actually, they would
It's a
not
good deal.
they would not spend 15 on Xhaka, which I think is totally reasonable, and they wouldn't spend it,
Oh God,
which is
yeah.
crazy. They
That's
wouldn't spend
exactly
it.
the kind of player I would want on my team. I wanted
100%.
us to go for him. Yeah.
He's class. He can defend. He actually has been there, done that. He's been a captain. That's who you need in midfield, right? And they
If you're
wouldn't do
trying to
it.
build a winning team,
Allegri
yes.
wanted him is from what the signs are that Allegri wanted to get him. However, it's not happening. So
No.
that deal is basically done. And once again, we've been let down. Yashari, 3 mil off. They won't make the 3 mil jump to make that deal happen. So he's now training with Club Brugge again, and he looks like he's probably not coming. So
No.
a lot of stuff is going down at Milan. A lot of failed transfers, and from what looked like it was going to go well is not anymore. So we'll see what happens. Not a positive week for Milan. Not excited about Estepanian. Not excited about Single if we get him. And they
Yeah.
let down 2 players that, even though I wanted a more Italian team, I was totally fine with getting both Yashari and Xhaka, and looks like those guys are not coming. So I'm not very happy as a Milan fan, and the Redbird disaster continues, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we're in the same boat. It's going to be a grumpy season. It really is.
Well,
I'm not even excited to watch any of the matches. I'm gonna sit there and watch them all like a good little content creator. But
it's
man,
killing
it's
me.
gonna be tough,
It's
dude. It
killing me.
is, dude.
It's killing me,
Yeah,
man.
it
I
is.
I just want like there to be a chance for my team to come back so I can actually pull for them. However,
Yeah.
there is one team that is still doing it the right way, and we'll go there next. That is Napoli. I've been a fan of most everything that they've been doing, barring
Yeah.
maybe one signing, which is the Bukuma signing. I thought they could have went with an Italian player there, like on like a Camuso
Yeah.
or something like that. But that's it. Everybody else, I'm totally on board with. What do you think about Napoli's transfer?
Well, they
so
already
far?
got Marianucci for the young center back, and they
Yep.
do have high hopes for him. They got Pasta last year. They're building up, and Conte's been saying it quite a bit this offseason. They're building something that's going to last. They're not just building for this year, but they're building something that's going to last. So
Yep.
they are building up a youth department, and that's they made some good signings. I don't think the Bukuma signing was that great either. I think it's a sideways move. You already have Rahmani's. When you're a fan of a team and you got a player there that's one of those guys that does 5 things right and one thing wrong. That one thing wrong is it usually fucking frustrating. But then you bring in a guy just like that, and you think he's going to be better because you hadn't had to live with his mistakes. It didn't affect you as much. So once they start affecting your team, I think it's the Bukuma um, uh, salivation is going to die off. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I like what they've been doing. I like the Lorenzo Lucca signing, obviously. I like Lang. I like obviously De Bruyne is
De Bruyne is an
awesome
amazing
player.
signing.
Yeah,
That's the perfect place to
yeah,
go in like the quality of a career when you're still young enough to actually have a few years to give. Like it reminds me of like maybe not the same spot, but it reminds me of a very Pirlo-esque signing. De Bruyne is a world class
yeah,
player, like truly world class. And you pop
absolutely.
my team with Conte with a midfield that already works with having. Now, is Lavoca staying?
Yeah, so far I haven't heard anything of him
So
leaving.
Lavoca staying,
But
Zambo staying.
I mean, I've been kind of AFK for 5 days on vacation, but I haven't heard anything in that time. So I mean, they the most important thing is they have a solid core of winners on that team that were established last year. They reestablished all that stuff after losing some of their main pieces from their first Scudetto season a couple of seasons ago. And guys like McTominay, Lobotka, Lukaku, Buongiorno, Rahmani, those guys are they're coming back. And now you've added people to that mix, and it's just going to be.
Yep.
I think they're the team to beat next year for sure.
100%.
Whereas our teams don't have any sort of core. They don't have people you can lean on. They don't have a strong structure of high character guys. So it's totally different when you bring in pieces like that to something that's working. And they got young guys to build and work around
This
them to
is
learn.
look
So,
at Napoli's
man,
midfield right now. Like, so they have the same
yeah,
exact mid they had last year because Zombo is actually staying, which is huge. And then they're going to add Kevin De Bruyne, who's a world class talent. They
massive
got
upgrade.
Luis Hassa, who's going to be kind of subbing on and kind of like he's the young
Able
guy
to
who's going
learn.
to come up in a little bit, right? And they've got Billy Gilmore's playing well. They still have McTominay.
Awesome.
They've got an amazing midfield six right now that they've just added to, and now it's incredibly solid no matter what three you play. They've
Yep.
now added Luca, who's basically going to learn from Lukaku, who plays the same way. I mean,
Yep.
obviously Lukaku is just a more athletic guy in general, but he can learn the hold up play and play in that same style. They've got Lang, who can now rotate in for either side. I mean, this is a really complete team. Like Napoli is
Yeah.
getting very complete, and that's
They're doing a
awesome
great
to see.
job.
So
They're
I don't know, man.
geez,
I like
Conte
it.
and Mana. Good
Yeah.
thing we got rid of those guys.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen. All right, when Juve could have taken him back, before he went to Napoli, they said no. When Milan could have taken him, he was offering himself to them, and they said no, and they got Fonseca instead. I mean, just look at the trajectory of the two teams. Napoli takes the cake on getting him, and
He's bossy and mean. You
right,
don't
it's
want that,
amazing.
okay?
Yeah, he's a mean
You want,
guy. Okay.
yeah, you want a nice fella. You want a nice fella.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Napoli
Yeah.
is not only the team I think is going to win, but the team I strongly want to win.
Yeah, same.
And I will heavily be pulling for it. I don't care
Absolutely.
if my team has been Milan for now 20 years. Napoli represents the way that I like to see the game played and built, and they still actually have an Italian core. I'm pushing hardcore for them.
That makes you a bad fan, which therefore makes you a bad
Could
person.
care
I don't know
less.
about you.
Yep. If
Oh,
if
okay.
Milan ever comes back to a way that I feel is even slightly respectable, I'll immediately be pushing Milan. Right. That's what I say. I'll be waiting in the wings, but until that
I'm not going
time,
to
not
support.
doing it.
It's like a child. When your child's doing something bad, you punish them. And I cannot spank them. I cannot put them in timeout. I cannot take toys away from them. All I can do is stop giving them my time and energy.
Yeah.
So that's how, and more importantly, your money. That's all they really care about. So, I mean, if you really want your teams to get better, just stop supporting this garbage instead
Yeah.
of giving the money. But I will be giving my efforts and time to Napoli this year again because they have my favorite coach on the planet, and they have a project that I'm that I really
I
like.
like it. Yeah, I like it a lot.
I love what I absolutely love what they're doing there.
This could very well make Luca if he succeeds here and if Conte works his magic on him, this could have a really good effect on bringing him up into be a national team caliber striker.
Don't count
We'll
out
see.
Marianucci. Marianucci is very, very good. I like Marianucci, and in that under Conte, I think he's going to have be a smashing success. I really do. I
Yeah, I
think
mean
he's going to
the
be
X
absolutely
factor is
phenomenal.
obviously Conte. There's a
Yeah,
ton of people with potential. I think anybody who goes there is going to be successful. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but it's only good for the national team. I'm excited to see kind of how especially Luca progresses. Now that Retegi's gone, he left for Saudi. Maybe
ooh,
if he's doing that, maybe Luca takes that spot. I know people say still play Retegi, but we'll see. I mean,
I'm a plain Ortega.
you
I think we should have a loser of the month award. Can we do that? Can
a
you the
loser of the
loser of
month
the
award.
month?
Well,
That
he's
goes to Retegi.
footballing wise, yes. Financially,
Yeah,
he's winning, and that's what people care about these days. But yeah,
that's all that
football
matters. He's getting
wise,
that
he's
bag,
losing.
girl.
Yeah,
Getting that bag, leaving it in the prime of his career. When he can play for the national team, he can win trophies. He's gonna go take a check. I mean, how much money do you really need for playing a game that doesn't mean anything?
yeah, I know. Yep.
You know,
Yeah, I mean you're not happy making multiple millions. You need to make several times that amount. I mean, listen, I get it. It's a wild amount of money, and I don't blame him for doing that. But it just sucks that this is the way that things are going. That's what's valued more. So,
there's always a bigger fish.
mm-hmm.
I
Um,
believe that was Shakespeare. Either that or Qui-Gon Jinn, something like that.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think we round this thing out with talking about maybe talk about another 10 minutes or so on.
Talk about baloney. Talk about
Yeah,
baloney. Who
I was
belongs
gonna
to
do the
who?
other teams here.
Yeah.
So let's start with Bologna. Big news, Pobega. Okay. Oh, hey,
Yes.
hey, there you go. Right.
He is a fan favorite here at Primo Calcio. Pobega is a
Hey, man,
beast.
he's
One
not
of
a
my
terrible
favorite
player.
players.
You know,
He's not.
he
He's putting
plays a
more goals
role.
than
He
miners.
plays hard. He comes up with a couple goals here and there. So it's okay. Okay.
Boom. He's got that wooden leg.
They brought back. Who they bring up? They brought back what, Immobile and Bernardeschi.
Yeah, baby.
That's right.
That makes me happy.
It's pretty cool
Excited.
actually.
I
They
think it's
brought in
super cool.
Casale. They brought I didn't see that. They brought in
Yeah.
Casale from Lazio. Really cheap too, 6.5 mil. I think he's a much better player than that reflects. You got Vitek from Sparta Praha, so they're kind of revamping their center backs, which I think is a great idea. I did not like their center backs. I know that they had some good games, but I didn't like them. So we'll see.
Yeah,
This is
I
good.
think they're very overrated. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I like what Bologna I like what Bologna is doing, and I like Italiano. This is cool.
bad.
What's Fiorentina been doing? Yeah, I haven't been smelling the essence of
It
La
it
Viola.
even though Keane may leave, there's been a lot of strong rumors that he's actually going to stay for a season. So we'll see. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that the big thing is, can they keep Keane? I think if they keep Moise Keane, and that's a very big thing. So far he's not leaving. The most recent rumor I read was that he's staying. Obviously, they're confirming Fagioli and Goodmanson, Gosens, but so Fazzini has been the only player who's been moving, and it looks like did they actually get Dzeko?
Oh,
Let's see. Let's see, did they get Dzeko? I'm gonna look that one up. Yeah,
that guy's
yep.
still playing.
Yeah, that's right. So he's just kind of honestly as a good sub. Like, why not? He's a super talented guy. He
Yeah.
can pop in, score some clutch goals. He can give Keane some much needed rest when needed. That's great. So Dzeko is a pretty good transfer.
Where's Castro? Where did he go?
I don't know. I don't know if he actually left or not. I'll
I'm
look
just
that one up for sure. Looks like VT's coming in
yeah.
too. I really like VT. That's
VT's
that's.
coming to Fiorentina.
Let's see VT Fiorentina.
Ooh,
I'm looking up right now. Yeah, VT
I like
Fiorentina. Yeah, that's great. Yep,
that's awesome.
that's a
I
great
definitely
transfer.
like VT.
He had a very good season, and Empoli, struggled without when they didn't have their main, like a duo slash trio. They struggled, so that's good. VT is moving to Fiorentina, so hey, Fiorentina is still a team I can definitely push for. That's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they were our team last year, so they're
Bazzini,
good.
VT, I think they're now. It's purely official because that was obviously the biggest news was as far as transfer goes.
Yeah, we're sorry. Yeah, sorry. We're just trying to play catch up with all this crap.
Yeah. So he is
I'm
Fiorentina.
not a super
That's it.
enthusiastic transfer period guy. There's a lot of BS. It's like reading tabloids all the time.
Well, I
So
mean, these things that we kind of catch up on it as is the Milan
yeah,
stuff, the Juve stuff, the Napoli stuff. I know that, but this stuff, yeah, it's kind of cool to learn in there. But Fiorentina looks like they're making some good moves.
good for them.
Big news with Atalanta is that they may bring in Federico Chiesa, so he's not. That's weird. So none of the bigger teams are willing to take a chance on him. Not Milan, not bringing back to Juve, not going to Napoli. Yet Atalanta may get him, and I think that's because of Lookman leaving. So Lookman's looking like he might go around, and Inter's been actually the heaviest team linked with Lookman, and then they may replace him with Chiesa. I think that's kind of honestly going to be okay for either front. I think they bring in Chiesa, that's a good thing. He's not going to be as consistent. Maybe he does get injured. Who knows? But Lookman's going to be good for Inter for sure.
Oh yeah, big time, dude.
That's a big transfer.
Yeah, I agree.
So if that happens, that's a big transfer.
Yeah, because I mean, and I think Inter's probably on the. I think they look worse right now than they really are. They didn't look very good at the Club World Cup, but I mean, they were coming off of stinking it up in at the Champions League final, and I think that was exaggerated. They got down, and then he just gave up. Cowardly, but that's what happens. I think they're going to be back next year, and they still have a ton of talent. The concern is Kivu, if he's competent enough to maintain the level that they were at. We'll see, but that if they get Lookman, it makes his life a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they get Lookman and they kept someone in Zaghi, they would obviously be challengers for the Scudetto along with Napoli. But I think that they take a step back because of that. There's also the Calhanoglu drama.
Yeah,
We don't really know what's going on there, so I don't know. Um, we'll kind of round it at the end with Roma. They are linked with a couple of Brazilians, right? So I think that
yeah.
they're look.
I mean, I'm curious to see how they adjust to Gasparini. I think him and Ranieri are polar opposites. So, in terms of coaching style, so that'd be
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yes.
I'm looking
So
forward to seeing Sule and Dybala in that squad.
yeah, but that seem actually play together because they had to kind of do separate stuff since Sule was kind of coming on and filling that void a lot. I see them play
Yeah,
together consistently because they're both creative players.
yeah. I mean, they'll definitely be a scoring powerhouse over
Hmm.
there. That's what Gasperini's done everywhere he's gone. So
Really want Baldanzi to get more minutes too. So and they actually
yes,
have a lot of a lot of talent in attack. There's a striker, I forget his name, Adolbek. He had a pretty good season last season. Hopefully, he continues to kind of grow in that role. No, they've got a good squad. So the two names that they're like Richard Rios from Benfica looks like about 30 mil, so a pretty significant deal for Roma there. Um, we'll see how that one goes. They also are linked with Gilardi from Verona, so another signing there. Yeah, that's like the bigger news for them. But I mean, Roma as a solid team, I think they
yeah,
underperformed a lot last season. I think that they're kind of like a sleeper pick
yeah.
for
Well, the beginning of their
competing.
season was so bad that an amazing run from Ranieri couldn't
Yeah.
save it completely. But yeah, I mean that Ranieri went out was legendary. So it just goes to show how you can make one bad coaching decision and then
Mm-hmm.
another. It can really mess you up. So well, yeah, I think that there's a lot of average teams right now in Serie A. I think Napoli's at the tippy top. I think it's a big gap down to second place, and it's going to be a big free for all there. I
Yeah.
think second through eighth is going to be a big giant mess.
Yeah. No, looks like they got a different striker, Evan Ferguson, um, Irish dude. Looks like Abraham and Shomurdov are gonna be gone. This dude is gonna back up Dovvik, and then they're linked with Wesley from Flamingo. So we'll see. Looks like that one's actually pretty close. He's a right back. So that one goes. So Roma's definitely making some moves. And I mean, if these players, I don't know how good a lot of these players are. Club World Cup was a little bit of a window into that. That's probably why a lot of these moves are being made. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. But yeah, the more interesting thing is what you said. How does Gasparini coach this? Is he going to actually still have a similar effect on these players? Are they going to play well, or is it going to be a little bit of a kind of oil and water type of deal? I don't know.
It's definitely a shock to your system when you going from an incredibly pragmatic coach, one of the most pragmatic in the business,
Yes.
to like the complete polar opposite in a summer. So, yeah, I mean, Gasparini is super experienced. He's an excellent coach. He knows what he's doing. If anybody can do it, he can. He is certainly not confused at all on how he wants to play. So that helps. But yeah, it's definitely a different look. I don't think that they have the defensive core that's responsible enough to handle his irresponsible defensive style.
No. No, I don't think so either. I don't think that their defensive core is good enough. They're all relatively aggressive defenders. Nobody has the poise that you'd want to see in that to kind of handle all the attacking they're going to be doing. But you never know when they're on. They're probably going to be freaking on. Um,
Yeah.
but when the kind of push comes to shove and they need to actually win a game that really matters, I think they're going to fail, and that's been Gasparini's mo. They'll be on
Yeah.
a hot streak for a while. I think Roma's going to be the same way. Because honestly, that's
Yep.
been Roma even without Gasparini. You add Gasparini to that mix, he's been that way at Atalanta. You're gonna see much of the same. They'll challenge. They might even pop up there and be in first place for like a minute or two, and then all of a sudden they're gonna drop off and they may get top four. That's kind of my thought about Roma. They'll have some nice runs where they look really good, and then they're gonna fail when it actually matters.
Yep. I agree.
I'm gonna kind of round it with just kind of my overall thoughts, and then see if you agree. So I think that Napoli is definitely winning so far in the Mercato. There's almost nothing I dislike about their moves. Milan and Juve, their past weeks have not been very good in my opinion. So not really excited about what's to come, but there will be more movement, especially on the Milan front. A lot of links. Roma looks like they could be improving. Fiorentina, solid. Lazio, I gotta look into them a little more, see what they're doing. Bologna looks like they're gonna stay very solid. I'm excited about the team they're building, and I want to see what Italiano brings. So those are kind of the up and coming teams. They're in Inter, should be steady, and if they could pull off Lookman, they're gonna be in the mix again. That's my take. What you feel like you kind of similar or any
Oh,
different takes on that?
I agree with I agree with all that stuff. I mean, I'm kind of I'm super excited to see Bologna and how, how that goes with Bernardeschi and Immobile. That's and Fiorentina with Vidi and Ranieri and Camuzzo. That could be pretty.
Excellent
That's
for
the
the
stuff that
national
I
team.
want to see. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the stuff that I want to see. I couldn't care less about some average random mercenary coming into a team and seeing what that impact is. I want to see a team that's building some kind of core that means something that's going to have value,
Yes, sir.
nationally as well. Yeah.
I'm right there with you. We are Primo Calcio for a reason. We're very Italo-centric and want both our clubs to get back to that. We take pride in that. That is it. We'll be back. Sorry, missed last week. We'll definitely be back next week with an update, maybe even sooner. Some big news happens. But thank you all
Yeah,
for
something
listening.
juicy comes along.
Hey, if there's juice, we'll be on it.
Oh,
Okay?
baby.
Yeah, you'll be on it for sure. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching, and as always, Forza Calcio. Ciao.